All right. So good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Alfonso here again, the godfather of real estate. I am so excited for the people that are just joining this live. Um, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell to get notified the next time we're doing a video. This channel has been around since 2008. We have about 3,000 followers every year. I love to do these videos. What are the rules and how to make the best that very year the best year of your life. And so far since I've been doing this, and by the way, I follow my own advice, and we make the best. Every has been the best. Every year has been a banner year. And so what I've done is I put together this video, and I want you guys to feel free to comment, feel free to join. I'm actually gonna be sharing these on my social media feeds for those of you that that wanna join. Let me see here, and I'm gonna add everybody. Make sure I add everybody from our community. So if you are here from the Wealth Genius community, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are here because you've been following me for a while, thank you. I appreciate that. I am currently in El Salvador, my homeland. So thank you for joining me. I see a lot of you joining me right now. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, I've been here since the 27th, and I will be here for the next couple of weeks because that's what we do. So let's get into it, my friends. Thank you very much. If you are joining us, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to make sure that I can provide value. That would be my promise to you. And what I will ask is, if you like anything that you hear in the next little while, I would say share it. Share it with someone you love. Share it with someone that you care for, and share it with anybody that either is into real estate, personal development, business, sales, because those are all the things that I talk about and I share on this channel. My kids always say, "Dad, you don't do YouTube, right?" Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. We have 3,000 subscribers. I'm not sure if I should be at 10,000 or 20,000. I'm not really focused on the subscribers. I'm focused on you. I want to make sure that I can add value to you, and that's what I'm focused on. So if you're joining us, I'd love for you to share, whether it's right now or in the future sometime. This video will be here for a long time. You can go back. I actually just made a new playlist, and so you'll be able to go back to all of the previous videos that I've done at the beginning of every year. And I always love to to start off the year with inspiration. I always reflect on things that happened through the past year, and I always make a list of things that I'm grateful for. So you want to make sure that you are grateful for all the amazing things that has happened to you. Now, I know for some people, maybe 2025 was not the ideal year, and you know what? The good news is we get to start over, and this is one of the beauties of where we are right now in society and culture, because you get to start over fresh. So if you're joining me, and I see a lot of you are joining me here on this live stream, put it in the chat box. Where are you joining me from? I'd love to know, where are you joining me from? Put it in the chat box. I want to know, where are you joining me from? Put it in the chat. There's a chat either at the bottom or on the right-hand side. I see a lot of you guys are pouring in here. So put on the chat. I want you to put in the chat, where are you joining me from? I want to know, where are you joining me from? Castleman. All right. Castleman. I am currently in El Salvador. So, top 20 things, 20 rules that you have to follow. Ottawa. Ottawa. Welcome. Ottawa, my hometown, Ottawa, close to Castleman. Good to have you here. Top 20 rules. These rules are going to be a game changer for you if you want to make 2026 the best year of your life. So, welcome, welcome, welcome to all the people that are joining us live. And if you're just joining us, before we get started, I want to make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified the next time we're doing a a video, and we do a ton of videos. A lot of it is just on my personal life. A long time ago, people, I used to share a lot about my life, and I thought, man, maybe people don't want to know. But after meeting a lot of you guys, and I know there's, out of my 3,000 subscribers that I have on this YouTube channel, I've been doing YouTube since 2008. Maybe I should be at 100,000 subscribers, but I've never really put the focus there. I've always just, been about serving you, the subscribers of this channel. Toronto, Ottawa, a lot of East Coast. What's the weather like? Put it in the chat box. I love to know what the weather is like. We're going to be talking about the top 20 rules that you need to follow, top 20 things that you need to follow to make 2026 the best year of your entire life. Make 2026 the best year of your entire life. One of them is going to be, make sure that you attend our virtual wealth summit that is happening January the 3rd. January the 3rd, we have a virtual wealth summit. It's a free event. It's a full day event, 10 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go to Eventbrite or go to wealthgenius.ai/events. It will take you right to our Eventbrite. Get signed up for free. I'll try to put a link here as well. Someone says it's cold. -10. Woo! -10. Yeah, it's plus here in El Salvador. And if you don't know about El Salvador, we're doing a retreat here. It'll be our second Ultimate Mastermind retreat that we're doing here in El Salvador. And it's it's a country that is evolving. It has changed a lot. If you don't know about me and my story, well, I immigrated to Canada as a refugee because of the war here in El Salvador. And after the war, it went into drugs and gangs, and it was not a place that you could live or even come in vacation to. And for the past four plus years, 5 years, you could say, 5 years, the country's completely turned around, and now it's one of the most the safest countries in the world. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. So I'm gonna actually share some content about El Salvador here on this channel. You can go through a lot of my videos, 1,600 videos. All right, so let's get started. Top 20 things that you need to do, 20 rules that you need to follow to make 2026 the best year of your life. First of all, before we go into the 20 rules, you want to start off the year by writing down all the things that you're grateful for in your life and all the amazing things that have happened to you in 2025. You do not want to go into 2026 taking for granted all the amazing things that have happened to you in 2025. Some people would say, well, Alfonso, hold on a second. What about all the negative things that have happened to me in 2025? Yeah, leave that in 2025. We want to leave all of that in the rear view mirror. You actually want to bring all the good into 2026, all the lessons into 2026. You want to bring all the abundance, all the inspiration. And I'm willing to tell you, if you sit down and you think of it, you can probably fill up pages and pages and pages and pages and pages and pages of things that the amazing things that have happened to you in 2026, 2025. Uh, I have a book here, and that's how I like to start off my year, by sitting down and writing the goals, a list of goals, not New Year's resolutions. So I don't want you to mistake the goal setting process for New Year's resolutions. I love the feeling of New Year's. For that reason, I do this every quarter. And if you've ever come to one of my masterminds, you'll see that we have an entire workbook, and we go through this entire process together. And the way it works is every quarter. So you want to start off the year, that first quarter, and you want to do this every single quarter. So um, talk about, write down all the things that you're grateful for, all the amazing things that have happened to you in 2025. And I always tell people, the best way to start a year is on paper. Right? You want to start a week on paper, you want to start a quarter on paper, you want to start a year on paper. So top 20 rules that you need to follow in 2026 in order to have the best year of your life. Okay, here we go. So the first one, and this is something that I talk about, over and over and over, is who is the you that is living this life of your dreams? Who do you need to become in order to be a direct match to everything you want? So decide, and it's all about making a decision. Decide on who you have to become. Who is the you that is living this life of your dreams? One thing is writing down your goals, but the other thing is thinking about and reflecting on the person that you have to become in order to be a direct match to everything that you want. If you want more, you simply have to become more. But you can't become more unless you decide what that more is. Success is what you attract by the person you become. And so, rule number one is you need to make a decision on who is that person that you need to become. Number two, set 3 non-negotiable goals. 3 goals that there is no question that you are going to achieve. Could be a health goal, could be a financial goal, could be a family goal, but a non-negotiable. There is nothing that is going to get you from not achieving those goals. And this is what separates, the 96% and the 4%. The 4% have non-negotiables. Like, when you become obsessed in achieving a goal, and you're willing to do whatever it takes, you're going to do what you have to do when you have to do it. Whatever it is, you're going to do it. You cannot be stopped. No one can stop someone on a mission. And so make that decision. Out of all of the goals that you're going to be writing down, what are 3 non-negotiable goals? Here's the next one. Okay. First of all, when we talk about goal setting, and people say, "Yeah, I have it," I want you to actually use. I need you to use paper. I need you to use pen and paper. I want you to write down your goals. And what happens by writing down your goals, you actually make this real. And most people take that for granted, how powerful actually writing something down is, because it becomes a real promise between you and you. We do this at the retreats. When people come to our retreats, we do a whole goal setting session. Before we even start the mastermind, we can't get into a mastermind unless we understand what we're trying to achieve. And the most powerful thing that you can do is actually write down a goal. That's the most powerful thing, because when you write something down, it becomes like a promise between you and you. Now, when you write down your goals, you need to look at all the different categories of your life. So there has to be balance in these goals. So, you need to have educational goals, real estate goals, financial goals, relationship goals, family goals, social contribution goals, spiritual goals, fun stuff like, travel and cars or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it can't just be all about that, right? So what I'm trying to say is that you need to look at the whole life. We all know people that are super successful, but they're one heart attack away from losing everything. But we also know people that are extremely spiritual and healthy, but they're flat broke. So there has to be a balance in your life. And, when I talk about balance, it gives the illusion of you got to be multitasking. No, that's not how it works. But you need to have an objective of what you want to go after in your life so you can address all of these goals in your life, all these different categories at the appropriate time. So some weeks you're going to be a little bit more real estate. Some weeks you're going to be a little bit more health. Some weeks you're going to be a little bit more relationships. So you're not going to do it all at the same time, but ultimately you should have targets in each and every part of your life. And so that's what makes this powerful. So if you're joining me, I see a lot of people are joining me right now. I want you to put in the chat box as you're coming in, put in the chat box where you are tuning in from. And if you're joining us at some point in the future, just check in. I would love to know that you're watching this at some point in the future. I've actually created a playlist where you're going to see, I'm going to put all of the videos that we've done every single year to make that year the best year of your life. And in fact, you can always better your best. So I started 2025 declaring that 2025 was going to be the best year of my entire life. 2025 ended up being the best year of my entire life. And so what are we going to do? In 2026, we're going to level it up. 2026 will be the best year of my entire life. And it's because I start with these particular rules. So write down your goals. Number 4, build a simple morning routine. Now, the easier you make this, the more likely that you're going to do this. For example, for the next year, I want to get up and do 20 push-ups or whatever push-up. I want to do push-ups. I'm going to do sit-ups. I'm going to drink water. If you've been following me for a while, you'll see that I have a lot of content on water and the power of water on this channel. You can just look for it. Water is good. So maybe you want to journal in the morning. Maybe you want to review your goals. Maybe you want to listen to some podcast or some inspirational content. By the way, the Wealth Genius podcast is ranking, baby, and we're doing so good. And I would love if you go and follow us wherever it is that you listen to your podcast. Go to the Wealth Genius podcast. So start with a simple 10 to 20 minute routine in the morning. Call it the successful routine, whatever is going to get you feeling good and inspired for the day. Audit your circle. So one of the things that you could do is take inventory right now of all the people that you spend the most time with, all the people that you come into contact with. Jim Rohn said you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and you'll have the average results. You have the average relationships, the average finances, the average everything of the 5 people you're spending the most time with. So January 1st, you want to sit down and you want to make an audit. Who are these people? And who you need to eliminate from your circle. And you need to protect your inner circle. You need to, I'm not talking about family members. Love your family, but choose your peers. These people are impacting your life. People's lives are a direct reflection of the expectations of their peer groups. And so I want to make sure that you sit down and you do an audit on all the people you are surrounding yourself with. Number 6 is learn one high valued skill. So back in 2025, I chose AI. I was in 2024, never even touched AI. I was scared of it. I would resist against it. In fact, I didn't even hadn't even used ChatGPT up until 2025. Um, Now I've embraced AI. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm educating myself. I have the apps. I'm using them on a consistent basis. So that's one example, right? So choose one high valued skill. Think about it. What is it? Maybe you want to learn Spanish. Maybe you want to learn how to underwrite. Maybe you want to learn a something technical like AI. And I see a lot of you guys are pouring in here. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. We're talking about 20 rules that you need to follow to make 2026 the best year of your life. Please put in the chat box. It's there. Put it in the chat box. I would love to know where you are tuning in from. And we are at number 6, which is learn a high valued skill. And you want to learn a high valued skill. That's exactly what you want to do. By the way, we're gonna also we're going to go back and review all of these towards the end. But I'd love for you guys that are coming in here. Thank you very much, by the way. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. But make sure you hit the chat box and let us know where you're tuning in from. Number 7 is protect your focus. Limit your distractions. There's a great book, and I'm going to recommend it. It's called Hyper Focus, and go get it on Audible, whatever. I learned so much from that book, and I've really adopted it in my life. And basically, back in 2020, I took email off my phone, and I remember, previous to the year 2020, I was I would get sucked into this black hole of answering emails, and it would just suck the living life out of me. I would spend an hour just like answering emails or whatever. So I am no longer a slave to my emails. In 2020, I decided to take emails off my phone. And basically, I read this book, Hyper Focus, and it talks about creating the environment for focus. And so you limit your distractions by creating the environment so you can be successful. It makes sense. And so on my phone, I have very limited distractions. So I have, very like 3 social media accounts, no WhatsApp, no Snapchat, no other, no other distractions. I have 3. So YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Everything else, I put it on my distraction device. And so everyone should have a distraction device. It's a device where you have all your emails, and that happens to be on my desktop. Okay, so if I want to get distracted, if I want to check in on my LinkedIn, for example, I got to go to my office and go on my desktop to actually plug into LinkedIn. Now, I've created teams to be able to do this and to manage other things, and that was my 2020, way of not being distracted. And then fast forward to last year of 2025, I made a decision January 1st, 2025, that I will no longer be answering emails or reading my emails. And so I created an autoresponder that tells people, look, I don't read emails, and you should talk to my executive assistant. And so I made that decision earlier in 2025, which has served me the entire 2025. That's why in 2025 I've been so focused. Now, don't get it twisted. A lot of you have been watching me. You say, Alfonso, you own 7 companies. You travel all over the country. How is it possible that you don't get distracted? Because I focus on what I'm doing. I rely on my team to make sure that other things get done, things that require extreme amount of detail. And so that's how you're going to grow. So you want to create the environment so you can be successful. So number 8, take care of your body. And I'm going to be the first one to tell you that 2025, even though I had some goals about my health, um, I'm going to be honest with you. I did not focus on my health. And so this year in 2026, I'm going to focus on my health, not just in terms of losing weight or whatever, but I just want to have energy. I want to, I want to put on some muscle mass. I'm going to go to the gym. I did make many attempts to go to the gym, and it was fantastic in 2025. But now I'm aware of what really resonates with me, and I'm going to make that change in 2026. And hey, guys, look out! In the next 3 months, you're going to be seeing a whole different Alfonso here. Health is going to be a priority, and you want to make sure that you take care of your body. Um, Look, I think that educating yourself is important. And number nine, it's all about reading and just consuming good, positive content. Audible, like real books. And I don't want you to. I don't want you to. I don't want you to think that I'm telling you to go out and read a whole bunch of books, because you got to take action. And so choose really good books and read them over and over and over. And I would say take action on the things that you're learning in those books. So for me, it's all about leadership this year. And I'm going to level up in leadership. And I'm going to be consuming a lot of the John Maxwell stuff. There's a lot of books that I've read, like the 5 Steps of Leadership, 21 irrefutable rules of leadership, and great books. I've read them over and over. So I'm going to choose another one in leadership, and what I do is I digest the book. I highlight, I go back, I read a paragraph, I'll go act on those things right away. I'll come back to the book, I'll reread it, the same chapter. So what I do is I study, and it'll take me about 6 months to actually read a book. And so I suggest you do that. Choose a book. Choose something that you want to improve on in the year. Choose one good book that's been recommended by all the people that you look up to, and digest that book. I feel that people are too quick to go to the next book and the next book and the next book, but it didn't do anything. I once met a guy that read 700 books. And if you can imagine, I asked him, what did he do? He said, well, nothing yet. I'm waiting for that next book. And so that next book does not have the answers. What has to happen is you need to take the book and you need to start applying the things that you're reading. And so not only do you want to educate yourself in 2026, but you want to make sure that you're reading regularly, and you want to make sure that you're digesting and applying the things that you're learning. So that was number 9. Number 10, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That is the mantra of my life. I'm always consistently challenging myself. I'm always growing, building, creating. And you have to get used to being uncomfortable. And it hurts, and it's easy to fall back to things that are comfortable. But you have to make a conscious effort to make sure that you're consistently growing. That's how you'll find fulfillment in life, is through growth and expansion. And so I'm a big believer in expansion. That's a big part of our philosophy at Wealth Genius. And, the core of everything that I do is, expanding, growing, building, creating. And so the only way you're going to do that is by getting uncomfortable. And so you want to make sure that you're consistently growing, you're not dying. So here's number 11. Stop waiting for motivation. Don't wait to be motivated. You're waiting for someone to motivate you. You want to wait for watch the next video or whatever to get going. There has to be something within you, like a burning fire, that's going to get you to move, right? And so the thing that you have to consistently remind yourself is that you want to do the things that other people are not willing to do today. Not everybody on January 1st is willing to listen to this live stream and sit here and, you know, you could be watching Netflix, for example. You could be doing so many other things. Not everybody's willing to do these things. You have to be willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do, so you can live the kind of life that other people wish they had tomorrow. And so today you have to take action. Don't wait to be motivated. They asked if you guys know Alexander Usyk, and they asked him about motivation. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. They asked Alexander Usyk, which is, he pretty much he's beaten every in boxing. He's beaten everybody in the heavyweight division. He was actually a light heavyweight that jumped up to heavyweight, and he's beaten everybody in that division twice. Some like three different fighters, he beat them twice, just to make sure that if you had any question that he should be, the unified, world champion, then he makes sure that he answered all your questions. And they asked him about motivation, and they say, like, what motivates you? And he said, it's not about motivation, it's about discipline. To be the unified world champion, boxing heavyweight unified world champion, it's not about, hey, I need motivation. I need someone to make sure that I go run in the morning. It's like, no, I want to achieve these goals. And so I'm going to wake up. That's the discipline that you need to have. You need to have a level of obsession that nobody else has. That's what makes the difference between the 96% of the people out there and the 4%. And so the 4% that really want this are not motivated. They're disciplined. Kobe Bryant, which is, I would say second to Michael Jordan, and that could be, discussed for years. But Michael Jordan being the number one athlete in the world, number one basketball player of all time, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, arguably Kobe Bryant would be number two. And before every practice, Kobe Bryant would go into the gym and do another 2 to 3 hour practice before the practice. You see, the rest of the team came in and practiced. Kobe was practicing before the practice. That's not motivation. That is a level of discipline and obsession that you need to have in order to be successful. And so that obsession is going to be key for you. Track your progress weekly, monthly, quarterly. You can't grow what you can't measure. And so are you trying to lose weight for the year? Okay, let's start off with, let's get your books out, weigh yourself, put in your weight, January 1st, put in, the amount of push-ups and sit-ups and all these things that you're doing, or time at the gym, whatever it is, or maybe your finances, you want to measure your finances. If you can't measure something, you can't grow. If you don't know how much money you have, you don't know your net worth, how can you possibly grow it? And so you want to start off every single year with a measuring stick and say, okay, right now I know I'm 210 pounds. Okay. And so I want to make sure that, I'm improving. And so I'm going to go out there and do a lot of exercise, and I'm going to eat well, and I'm going to weigh myself tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll be 209 or 208 or whatever it is. And so I can now measure my progress. And whatever the goals are, you need to measure. You can't grow the things that you can't measure. And so I'm going to say those are very, very important. So make sure you measure. Invest in yourself. One of the most powerful things that you can do, or one of the best investments, is the investment on yourself. Not on, buying Ferraris or whatever, but getting personal development. Every year, I choose 2 different conferences. Last year, I went to a conference. It was like, $12,000 per person or whatever. It doesn't really matter the price. Is I want to go somewhere where I'm continuing to learn. I have invested myself into coaching, communities, masterminds. Even though I'm a leader of masterminds, I have my community, but you wouldn't want the person, your doctor to not to continue to invest on his or hers education, right? You want a doctor to be up to date with, with the latest and greatest technology and medicine. And so that's the same thing. You want to be continue to invest in yourself. Maybe you had coaches before, or maybe you've never had a coach. Well, maybe this is your time to invest in yourself on coaching. Maybe this is now is the time. Okay, so it doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be my, coaching services. It doesn't have to be Wealth Genius, but you need to find something, right? You got to choose, make a decision, and say, hey, I'm going to do that. There's been many things that I've seen, and it's like, okay, you know what? In 2025, 2024, 2023, every single year I make a decision and I say, I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to get coaching from that person or whatever it is. And I do this every year. You want to consistently invest in yourself. Uh, Set boundaries. Learn how to say no. N-O. I'm going to put this in the chat box here. No, no. When you say no to things, you now leave yourself open to other things, right? Not every opportunity is for you, right? So you need to learn how to set boundaries and be disciplined. The second you create a goal, your job is to make sure that every decision you make is in alignment with that goal. Anything else is a distraction. So you need to have hardcore boundaries to make sure that you don't get distracted. And so you have to learn how to say no to certain things, certain opportunities, even. So you're open for the actual opportunities that you are looking for. And so make sure that every decision that you make is in alignment with your goals. I've always been a big believer in making sure that you take massive action, even if you don't think you're ready for that action. I know a lot of people, they wait to take action until they're ready, and so what happens is by the time that opportunity comes by, they're not ready, right? And so you're better off being ready for an opportunity and not getting the opportunity than getting the opportunity and that you're not ready. And so you got to take consistent actions even if you're not ready. You got to if when it comes to the real estate world, hey, go out there and start having those conversations with real estate investors, realtors, walk properties. I always tell people, take action, go, go, go. But maybe I'm not ready to buy that property yet. It doesn't matter. Go. Just get out there, start having those conversations, because when you get that opportunity, you're going to be ready. And so that's the most powerful thing that you can do, is take more action. So make 2026 the year of action, and make 2026 the year where you will take the most amount of action that you've ever taken in the history of your life. And every single year I make that declaration, and every single year it turns out that it's better than the last. And so I'm declaring right now that 2026 will be my best year ever. And I'm going to share it right here on this channel, and you'll have the opportunity to watch me. So make sure you subscribe so you can tap into that. Learn from failure instead of quitting. Look, 2026 will bring about some challenges, and you just got to be ready. You got to prepare yourself that there will be failure, and knowing that you will have the discipline and you will have the gumshoe, you will have the drive that will push you forward regardless of any failure you'll see in 2026. You want to make 2026 your bitch. That's what you want to do. 2026 is going to come at you with all kinds of things. And guess what? That is the opportunity. The same wind blows on us all. The same economic wind, the same, market sentiment, whatever's happening, rates are up or down or sideways, inventory, no inventory, yes inventory, all of that is happening to everybody all at the same time. And so it's the people that continue moving forward no matter what are the people that are actually going to win. And so you need to understand the same wind blows on us all, and you will have challenges. Be ready for those challenges. In fact, don't and this is from Jim Rohn, one of my mentors. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less. Don't wish it was better or easier or better. Wish you were better. Wish you that you had more skills. That's what you want to wish for. And so what happens is you become stronger if you already know that these challenges are going to come. It's normal. It's everybody has challenges. I mean, 2025 has been the best year of my life, but it didn't come without challenges. Of course, we had challenges and we had to overcome these challenges, but I became stronger and better because of those challenges. And so I know that we're gonna see the same in 2026. And so I am ready and available to learn from those challenges. So I don't wish it was easier. I wish I was better. And so that's why one of the items here is develop a skill. What I've learned this year in AI is incredible. All the things, I mean, it's made my life easier. And so, in 2024, I didn't even touch AI. 2025, I said, you know what? I need to be better. I want to develop a new skill. And so I decided to, push myself into AI. And all of a sudden, at the end of 2025, I'm using AI all the time. It's a part of my life now, and it's made my life a lot easier. Let me see here. Victoria, BC. Lila in Victoria, BC. Welcome, welcome. As you're coming in, guys, make sure to share where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know. Um, so, look, um, we all are on social media, and so you want to create more than you consume. And you're on social media right now, and you are consuming this content, but you don't want to be a spectator. And so you want to be a creator of content. And so, you know, uh, even though consuming good content is going to be good for you, but you also don't want to be stuck in the stands. Think about a soccer game. There is, 60,000 people in the stands, and only 40 people play in the game. And so you also want to be a player in the game. You don't want to be a spectator in the game. I remember my youngest daughter. She would watch. She would love playing Minecraft. And then one day I'm watching her play Minecraft, but I'm noticing she's not even playing. She's watching someone play Minecraft. And I'm like, honey, don't you want to play Minecraft? You have your own Minecraft. You don't have to watch these kids play Minecraft. And then she's like, no, I like the way these kids play it. But I'm like, honey, you know, you want to you want to play your own Minecraft. You don't want to be a spectator. She's like, Dad, isn't that what you do when you watch basketball or boxing? Oh, that hit me. That hit me. Oh my God. And it's true. We can be spectators many times. I love watching boxing, and at that point I am a spectator, right? So there's nothing wrong with being a spectator. Right now, we got all these people on this live here, and you guys are spectators right now. I'm sharing my knowledge with you, but you are spectators. And so there's nothing wrong with consuming. Just make sure you create more than consume. Journal, write amazing posts on social media. Don't just be a social media stalker. Add value, contribute to people. And what happens is, through adding value, people are going to add value to you. And what happens is there's going to be this exchange of value. And the more that you can help other people get what they want, the faster you'll get what you want. And so make sure that you are also a creator, not just a consumer. I'm a big believer in gratitude, and before we even started into this list of the 20 rules that you need to follow in order to make 2026 the best year of your life. And by the way, if you're just joining us now, I'm going to review all of them, and you can go back and watch this video. But we said, listen, start off with the things that you are grateful for and what actually went right in 2025. A lot of us tend to say, you know what, we're going to put 2025 in the past and we're going to just start new. But hey, there's a lot of good stuff that happened in 2025 that you can be grateful for. I will tell people, I would say to people, hey, be grateful for everything in your life. Be grateful for everything in your life. Um, Practice, get a gratitude journal. Practice gratitude every single day. If every single day you start off with three things that you're grateful for, I'm going to tell you, you're going to have an amazing day. I'll tell you that right now. All right. uh, Build consistently, not perfection. So look, that's number 19. So we're one away here. But build consistently, not perfection. Look, I'm a big promoter of making sure that you do versus waiting for it to be perfect. Don't wait for things to be perfect. By the time you try to make something perfect, uh, you've already missed the boat. You missed the train on that one. And so uh, don't be afraid to be consistent, right? Consistently, and if you consistently improve yourself over time, every single day, if you go back to one of my first YouTube videos, they were horrible. Everything I did at the beginning was horrible. I can go back on Facebook and look at the posts that I made. They were all horrible, but I've been consistent. And there's not a single day that goes by that I don't improve from the day before. And so every day, consistent improvements over time has that compound effect of, building something truly amazing. Nothing can ever be perfect unless you are consistent and you can perfect it over time, and you can always better your best. So whatever perfection, whatever the best is right now, you can always better your best. Very much how we started this video, where we said, hey, every single year I start off with a video on how you make that year the best year of your life. And every single year I start off with the intention of making sure that that particular year is the best year of my life, even though the last year was the best year of my life. 2025 was the best year of my life, but you can always better your best, baby. And so 2026 will be the best year of my entire life. And so I can't wait to see what you're going to do in 2026. And so here's the last one. The last, number 20, is make a commitment right now that you're going to finish off 2026 strong, that you're not going to give up. January 1st, I bet you today the gyms are full of people that have New Year's resolutions. And the reason why New Year's resolutions don't really work is because there's um, an unreasonable um, there's an unreasonable amount of time that's ahead of you, and it gives people the illusion that you have more time than you actually have. And then what happens is we wake up in March and we didn't do anything, and that's the problem. People set resolutions that they don't do, and so you want to make sure that you do, but you want to make a promise to yourself that you'll continue to do all the way to the end of 2026. I was doing in December. I was closing deals. We closed a really big deal in our portfolio. I think it was December 18th. I mean, we were still doing. We took over. We took over that building December 18th, and there's certain things that we did in right after Christmas. So I was still doing yesterday, right? And so I wanted to make sure that, if there's one day left in December of 2025, December 31st, that I was going to make sure that I wasn't going to take it for granted. And so the best way to do this is to make sure that you measure along the way. This is why you want to have many New Year's every single quarter. So what happens when you compress the time, you now create urgency in your life. So sit down and write down some goals and look at January 1st to the end of March. Look at these 3 months, and then start off the second quarter the same way that you're starting off right now, quarter number one, and do that consistently for 4 quarters. And what you're going to find that you're going to start off that quarter with a sense of urgency, and you want to make sure that you don't lose that all the way to the very end, December 31st of 2026. And that, my friends, are the 20 rules of how you're going to make 2026 the best year of your entire life. I want to thank everyone that joined me on this live. It's been already more than an hour. Make sure to subscribe, to hit the notification the next time we're doing a video. I'm gonna be sharing this all over online. So if you're watching this in the future, at some point in the future, uh, put a comment down below. Tell me what your favorite part was. Actually, from all the people that are here, I want you to plug in the chat box. What was your favorite part about, or whatever you heard today? What are you going to take away with you the most? Put it in the chat box. And we're going to review these before I log off. I think it's for the people that came later or whatnot. I've seen lots of people here, so make sure that you put it in the chat box. You want to write it in the chat box. I want to know, what was the number one takeaway? What was the one thing that stood out to you from the 20 rules on how to make 2026 the best year of your life? Okay, number one. Okay, decide who you're going to become. Success is what you attract, but the person you become. And so that's the first thing that you want to do. Set 3 non-negotiable goals. Okay, things that it's a non-negotiable. These 3 things you are going to accomplish no matter what, and you're going to be obsessed over. Write your goals down, and we talked about that, how powerful it is to actually write your goals down in all the different categories of your life. Make sure you have balance, and you have to write them down. Number 4, build a simple morning routine, something that it's like 10 to 20 minutes that you can do, and start doing it right away. And it's getting dark in here. Let me see. I'm not sure if it's a better lighting. It's getting dark. It's 5:53 here in El Salvador. 5:53 here. Number 5, audit your circle. So the people that you're surrounding yourself with, make sure you audit that circle. You're the average 5 of the 5 people you spend the most time with. People's lives are a direct reflection of the expectations of their peer groups. Change your peers, change your life. And so there is nothing more powerful that you can do than eliminate certain people from your life and add certain people into your life that bring massive value. One of the biggest things that we've created with Wealth Genius is that we've created a community of like-minded people that are growing together, building together, and supporting one another. And that's why our community continues to be successful, and people continue to grow within our community. Learn one high valued skill. And I shared my experience with AI, how, in 2025, decided to take on AI, and it's been a game changer. This year in 2026, I'm also going to be leveling up on AI, but I'm also going to be choosing another skill. I do this every single year. Protect your focus. So don't allow yourself to be distracted. In fact, create the environment so you can be successful. And if it means eliminating emails, creating an auto responder, taking certain apps that are taking up a lot of your time from your phone, and creating a distraction device, I think those are the most powerful things that you can do. Take care of your body. Listen, if we don't have our health, we don't really have anything. I'm going to be focusing on my health, my personal health here in 2026. I would say read regularly, but also make sure that you are consuming and acting on the things that you're reading. It's not It's not good enough just to read a book for the sake of reading a book. You want to make sure you are consuming that content and acting on it. So the most powerful thing you can do is take action on the things that you're learning. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Number 10 was get comfortable from being uncomfortable. And I would say, if you're not growing, you are dying. And so that's the only real way you're going to find fulfillment in life, is to make sure that you're expanding and growing and being uncomfortable. Number 11 was stop waiting for motivation. No one's going to come around to motivate you. Think about discipline. Think about obsession. Think about doing something regardless of whether or not you're motivated to do it. I like the book Atomic Habits, where he talks about if you want to build a new habit and you're not motivated to go to the gym that day, go anyways, because you don't break the habit. And that's a key part of motivation, is not waiting to be motivated to do something. Just do it and be disciplined and obsessed. And even though it sucks and you don't want to do it, but do it anyways. And your future 2027 self will thank you for it. I love this. The body is foundational for everything. Healthy is wealthy. Thank you, Michael. I love that. Michael Brown, my brother. What's going on? I want you to write down one thing that you're taking away. Put it in the chat box. Thank you, Michael. Number 12, rather, track your progress. So what you can't measure, you can't grow. Plain and simple. What you can't measure, you can't grow. It's just not possible. So you want to make sure that you're consistently measuring the things that you're doing, whether it's your weight, your finances, your relationship, whatever it is that you're doing. You want to make sure that you can measure it. Set boundaries on what really deserves your attention, and don't get distracted, and create the environment for you to be successful. Number 15, take more action than you feel you're ready to. You're better off being ready for an opportunity and not getting the opportunity than getting the opportunity and you're not ready. So even if it's uncomfortable, if you are not motivated to do it anyways, and get used to doing that. Number 16, learn from failure. Okay, don't quit. Know that there will be some failures in 2026, and be ready and already accept it beforehand. Know that there'll be deals that don't work out. Know that there's gonna be someone that moves out. Know that if you're in real estate, yes, there'll be some nasty person somewhere that's gonna break a window somewhere. Accept it. Learn from it. Become better from it. Create before consuming, and create more than consumption. So it's okay to consume, but just don't consume more than you create. Be a creator. Be a person that adds value. Number 18, practice gratitude. Daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. There's nothing more powerful than being grateful. And that's exactly how we started this whole thing. Number 19, build consistently, not perfection. It's not about perfection. It's about consistent actions over time that compound, that give you the things that you are looking for. And commit already. January 1st, commit that you are going to go all in for this whole year, all the way to December 31st. Make that decision in your life, and you will not regret it. My friends, if you are tuning in, make sure to subscribe. Share this video with someone. Right now is January the 1st. We have an event, January the 3rd. It's a free virtual event. All you got to do is go to wealthgenius.ai/events. And it'll take you right to our Eventbrite page. Look for the virtual wealth summit, and you want to start off the year. It's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you want to start off the year strong and solid. If you like what you've heard today, give us a like this video. Do me that favor. Like this video right now. If you're watching this, like this video right now. I want to thank you guys for coming by. I'll see you on January the 3rd, a free virtual event. How to, we're talking about all things building wealth and all the things that you got to do in real estate, specifically real estate, because that's what I do, in to make 2026 the best year of your life. Again, I'm Alfonso, the godfather of real estate. Thank you for hanging out with me today. An hour right on the dot. And if you're watching this in the future, I'd love for you to like the video, share the video with someone you love. And that's it. This was my video on how to make 2026 the best year of your entire life. Thank you for watching. Alfonso loves you, and we'll see you all at the top. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you.